Hello, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Thank you for being with me here this evening in Australia. And whoever's coming in from overseas, from America, good morning. I know it's early morning for you. But yeah, it's lovely to see you all on our Who, What, Where Wednesday. Hey, Jean, lovely to see you. I love that you're supporting me. I really appreciate that. Hi, Gurnham. Lovely to see you. Okay, so let's get started, hey? Okay, so welcome to the Who What Wednesday with me, Narelle Warcon. You know a little bit more about me. Over the last few weeks, I've been doing lives and coming to you about different things that have happened in my life, I suppose, sharing so that you feel that you're in a safe space, a place where you can come and be open, you know, just as I am doing, being raw and real. So you know a little about me. Now I want to know, who are you? So remember our live is called Who, What, Where. Sorry about that. So who are you? Let me know where you're popping in from. But I want to know a little bit more about you. So I'm going to share a little bit about my experiences around this. So, you know, we all know that there are people in life that tell us what to do, in a sense. You know, we're raised, our parents give us guidelines as to what we should, you know, things that we should go through, things that we might go through, things that they have learned themselves and handed down to the generations. And they are the things that we take into our lives from children and into that teenage life and then into adult life. But we find that along the way, something sort of happens. We start to not believe in ourselves, or somebody treated us badly, or the media tells us certain things about how we should act, how we should look. And it starts to, for me, it was a little bit soul destroying, I suppose, because I always felt different anyway. And it was only years later that I realized that there was something different about me. So the thing is, when you've got those people telling you all the time about how you should act, how you should live, you know, what you should look like, almost to the point of what you should spend your money on and things like that, it becomes difficult, and you start to lose who you are. So they call it, you know, being in a box. If you've heard that termination before, like, you know, you've been in this box sort of thing. I don't believe in my life there was ever a box. And I'm going to say to you that I think you should throw that box away, and you will gain the freedom that you deserve. That's really important today, that I want to get that across, that you don't have to live within those four walls of what everybody else says that you should be. And hey, Gina, coming in from northeast of the USA. Excellent. We are definitely making changes, and I too have made many changes in my life. So it really is important, I think. Hi, Janet, lovely to see you. It's really important, I think, that from a young age, we don't instill in our children. I mean, mine are already adults, remember, so I did make changes that what my parents had passed down to me, so that my children didn't have to go through that. I have very strong independent children, a son and two daughters, whom I love very much. And I'm just really appreciative that I was able to change some things for them so they didn't have to go through what I suffered in life. So you can be you. You don't have to wait for everything to be just right. There is no right time. And the thing is, that is exactly right. Hi, Tatu, Chandra, how are you? That is exactly right. You know, when is the right time? Is it when we're a child? Is it when we're a teenager? Is it as we come into a young adulthood? There is no right time, and we have to learn to start loving ourselves now, today. There are many people out there that I've noticed, and I read a lot, and hi, Bolty, you know, reading a lot of what's going on in our society, and it makes me feel a little bit sad, to tell you the truth, because I see so many suffering in this point of not loving themselves enough. Now, where did that come from? You know, like it really is up to us to change things, but how do we go about that? You know, like it's one of those things. Sorry, I'm hesitating there, but I just need to sort of express myself through that situation of, you know, not being the right time, or when is the right time. I think for me, you know, later on in life, it took me a lot of learnings, a lot of lessons. And there are times when people won't like who you are. And there's a quote that says, "What others think of me is none of my business." Now, I truly believe in that. However, it took me a while to get to that point of not worrying about what others thought. So when I spoke last week, I spoke about my job in the mines, driving the big dump trucks. Huge success for me to actually get the position in the first place. But I can tell you that I felt at times very unliked. And there was probably some of the guys there, very egotistical, narcissistic type guys that probably actually even hated me. Now, that's a really hard thing to accept, that somebody might actually hate you. The thing is, when you look back, well, as I look back, I can see the reflection that they actually hated themselves. It wasn't me. They were just deflecting their inward battle with who they are. So that's why it's really important, I think, to not worry about what others think, because a lot of the time it is about what they are going through. I use the analogy quite a bit over the years that I always thought I was born in the wrong century. I love classical music, and I always felt that my analogy that I use for deflecting was that if I was a princess and I had a ball gown on, it was full of mirrors, little mirrors everywhere, you know, so those little mirrors deflected. So I've learned that there is no time, and yeah, made a million of excuses. I think we've all done that, Jean. We make excuses. You know, we want to please other people. We become people pleasers. And even though I've been a very strong lady all my life, I think there are many times in my life that I could look back and go, you know what? Yeah, I should have stood up for myself. I should have done more. I should have done better. You know, and I think we all go through those times. So the thing is, how do we sort of deal with that? You know, so what can we do? So one of the things that I learned, and maybe I should have learned it a little bit earlier, would have made some of the outcomes better. So had I have learned it earlier, but anyway, I am who I am today. So the one thing I learned was, find something that you love about you. One thing, just one thing. Doesn't have to be everything about you, because, you know, there's so many things that I think we find over the years that we don't like about ourselves. So I'm asking you to think about this and take and look for one thing. Now, mine was, and you might find this fairly silly, but it was my hair. I was able to grow my hair to a long length at a certain age in my life. I didn't always have long hair. At one stage, I had really, really short, spiky hair with a big blonde bit at the front and red in the other. So a bit of a wild child there. So I suppose, you know, if you can find that one thing, and I want you to look in the mirror. Now, this isn't something that I'm asking you to do. So I'm asking you to think about this as a solution to how you can become more of who you are. People around you telling you that. If you haven't got people standing up with you and saying, hey, I support you, I want to be here, I'm your friend, whether it's family or friends, because sometimes our families don't always or aren't the ones that support us as much as friends. So you need to be kind to yourself. And that starts from a little tiny step of just appreciating something about yourself. Like myself, in my younger days, I wanted to be prettier. I wanted to be thinner. I wanted to fit in. Even though I knew I stood out, I didn't realize how beneficial that was in actually standing out and how unique that makes you, because everybody these days wants to fit in. Okay, so take that one thing, have a look in the mirror, find something and tell yourself that I love you, Narelle, because you've got beautiful long hair. You know, you take that thing that you find, it could be your eyes, it could be, you know, the way that just your face looks, or the way that you smile, some little thing that you can take and look in the mirror each day and tell yourself that. You know, I'm at the stage of just saying I don't go to the mirror to do this anymore. However, when, you know, you going to the toilet or washing your hands or whatever, and the mirror is there, then it's just like, Narelle, I love you for who you are. So I can tell myself that a few times in the mirror. You walk away with a different feel when you start to acknowledge yourself, or feel those inner feelings of love for self. So that is really important. So where are you going, and what can you do right now? Okay, what can you do? So especially if you're not happy, a lot of people aren't happy in our world anymore, and that's a really sad thing. They could be in a job that's a dead-end job, you know, something that they're not really passionate about. You know, they could be going in a direction where they have friends that don't support them or love them, who run them down, who whinge and whine every single day. So, you know, do you feel like you're being heard? Because one of those things is really important about being heard. Now, one of the things I found through going through domestic violence, like I said, some of you may have heard my story before. It's about the being heard. And one of the things that I found was that when I was coming out of and writing my book, Blonde Roots, it was about having somebody around me that heard my story, you know, or I suppose in a way you wanted somebody to feel sorry for you. Why should you have gone through this experience and nobody was listening to me? You know, I'm hurting, I'm in pain, you know, I don't know what to do. And I think that's where life, in a sense, is missing out on that. We have these different levels in life. We have the person who's sitting in victim, who's going through maybe domestic violence, sexual, physical, and mental abuse. They don't know what to do. They don't know who to turn to. And yes, there's a society of people, you know, that have been trained, psychologists, doctors, social workers, and even some people that work from a natural platform, I suppose, not just natural medicine, but, you know, working on different levels that way. So what happens is there's a big gap in between. And in that gap is an emptiness of, how do I get this person in the victim to the middle, right? Because these people up here who are qualified, who are ready to do, are going, can't help them yet because they're still in the victim. And that's where society, I think, falls down a little bit. So I would love to be here and be that middle ground for people, so then I can help you step from that and listen to you about your stories. But we need to share them, you know, and sharing them isn't always something that comes easy to people, because they're scared, again, they're going to be judged. They're scared that somebody's going to think that they're silly. Somebody's going to think that their story is not truthful, because a lot of people will judge you on your story, but your story is your story. And that's what's really important. And that's what makes you uniquely you. So I am putting together, you know, you've seen me for a few weeks now, and I am putting together a platform. So the platform is called Voice Choice Power, and it is a platform that I have had for many years, but never been able to utilize it. I think it's really important that if you look at those positive words, voice choice power. Now, this isn't just for females, it is for both male men and women. However, I do, I suppose, resonate better with women, because that's what I've been through. So it's a platform about allowing you a space to come and share. It's not about sharing all the badness in life, but it's just knowing that you're being heard. So a place where your voice matters, you know, where you feel that you have choices because there are other people that have been there before you. One of the things I suppose going through domestic violence is that nobody understands because anybody around me wasn't going through that at the time. People were happily married, you know, in relationships, and sometimes you don't always share everything about that because you don't want to bother them, especially family, you know, and you may have one true friend from, say, years ago that you might be able to tell something to, but it's not necessarily telling all because you just don't want to burden them with what you've been through or are going through. So I think that, hey, Jean, thank you. Yes, it is very powerful words. So I think it's a place where you can come. I'm going to be inviting people on from all over the world. I will start with Australia first and New Zealand because I want to support our countries. It's sort of similar to Shining the Light, but really it's voice, choice, power, the diamond within, because guess what? All of you are a diamond inside. It's just things that life has thrown at you, things that you've had to live through, and particularly by yourself. You know, that's the hardest part, is not having that support. I think, you know, like with counseling and stuff like that, and I've had a lot of that over the years for certain different things. However, one thing that she stated to me was that in my life, there are so many people that have let me down that should never have let me down, right from being a young child and being sexually abused, right through my teens, my marriages that were full of abuse, particularly with my first one, and things like that. It's about not feeling, you feel alone. You really feel alone. So I'm here letting you know that I've been through so much. I do understand your story in and on so many different levels. So I will be asking people from around Australia, from around the world, to come on and share their stories. It doesn't have to be about domestic violence. Remember, I'm here because I survived. I'm here because I want to share my life and my journey with you so that you understand this is a safe place, because that's what we all need. We just need a safe place to be able to come, share, you know, have a chat about what's going on. You know, if I can help you with any of my experiences, then I certainly will share those. I am not a doctor, I am not a psychologist, nor a social worker, but my life experience, I've been asked many times in life to become a social worker, and I said no, because social workers tend to come from a book. They have certain rules and regulations about what they can and cannot say, or how they act and behave within a certain environment, particularly with domestic violence. So I come from the heart and from experience, and that's why I want to share, because I can be completely open with you. You know, I can say what happened in my life, and certainly, you know, help you along your way to maybe that journey to getting some help, or talking to those people who maybe, thank you, Balti. I really appreciate that. It is a lovely idea, and I think I've been sitting on this for quite a few years, and now it's time. You know how the timing sometimes is just, yeah, it just comes and it's just the right thing. Now, I didn't write my book to be a bestseller. I've said that before, but if my book can help one girl or one woman not have to go through what I went through, then it's absolutely worth it. So I do have a website. I'll go over to that just now and just show you. I do little blogs. My website is there if you want to purchase my book. It is available from Amazon as a downloadable, or from me personally, if you want a signed copy. It is extra to send overseas. Postage is no longer that cheap anymore. So this is my blog. I just want to share you a couple of little things there. Sorry, there we go. So that you can just see what I sort of bring into it. They're just little quotes and things like that that have helped me in my life, that have helped me, I suppose, look at things a little bit differently, because one of the things is as we get older. It's okay when you're young, you're a little bit more impressionable. But as you get older, you tend to sort of sit with, this is what I believe, and that's what it is. So when I had that accident back when I was in my 40s, it was a terrible thing for me. And one of the things that I looked for was help online, in the sense of, and what I found was quotes. And quotes really sort of helped me to identify and start loving myself more. It took many years for me because I was a very stubborn woman. So that's my website. And you can just have a little read there. They come up usually every day, sometimes every second day. But yeah, if you go to narellewarcon.com, you'll be able to see it there. So, okay, I'll just, thank you, Jean. I appreciate that. It takes some time and you rebuild things over the years. So, okay, so that's my website. That's my blog page. So if you go into the website, you'll see a picture of me and a little story about me. So I would like your thoughts about coming together. I've seen a couple of comments coming through, and I think that I feel like I'm on the right track. It's not necessarily about whether you think I should or I shouldn't, because I'm going to anyway. It's about sharing, or whether you personally or whether you know somebody personally, because it is important, I think, that we reach out and help those near us. You know, those who we think we can see struggling, we don't know what to do for them, because maybe you haven't been through that yourself. So yeah, love that today I am going to, yes. And exactly. And there used to be a quote that I used to get daily, and it was, thank God I. Now, it was really impressionable to me, because one of the things that came up, and I was asked to do a section in that book, was, thank God I was raped. Thank God I lost my husband. Thank God I had cancer. Oh my gosh, it really hit me home, because it's like, how can you be grateful or thankful for those things? But like myself, having gone through domestic violence and gone through abuse, I am very thankful to the Lord above, because if I had not have been through these experiences, I wouldn't be sitting here today speaking with you about my experiences, sharing with you that maybe my story can help one person, can help one child. You know, that's what this is about. It's about helping others to be able to get through those hard things in life. And right now, society or life is really difficult for a lot of people. We need to reach out. We need to be that helping hand. We need to be grateful for what we have, and grateful for everything that we've been through, because of that experience that it brings. I'm Narelle Warcon. I come to you from Mackay in Queensland. I open my heart to you. Please reach out anytime. I will be here. I want to support you. I want to be that, that listening ear, that hand to hold, and just know that somewhere in between that gap, you know, in I don't know what to do, I'm struggling, I'm being hurt, I'm in pain, that and somebody helping you, there's always going to be somebody in the gap. And that gap for me, it is me for you right now. So come and have a listen, share it with your friends, allow them a space so that they can make those choices, and don't just think, I don't think this is right for that person, because you don't know. You don't know what other people are going through. Yeah, they sure have, Jean, they sure have. And as I grow older, I grow more, it becomes more about love. It becomes more about helping others. I am who I am. And if I don't help people, then what am I here for? You know, just to live and then have something in life and work and then die? You know, like, that's not a purpose. That's not God's purpose. So it's Bolty, yeah, we are truly grateful. Thank you. I am so grateful for you all being here today. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing my journey with you. over the next couple of weeks, sorry, I'm a bit dry now. Over the next couple of weeks, I will be starting to bring some people on at certain times. We can look at this time every week. However, there may be times that we can do a morning to suit other places. Excuse me while I have a little drink. Okay, so there is a quote that I want to share with you also today. It says, gratefulness is the key to a happy life that we hold in our hands. Because if we are not grateful, then no matter how much we have, we will never be happy. So think about that, ponder on it. If you have any questions, I'm here for a couple more minutes. If you'd like to pop any questions into the chat, I'd really appreciate that. Like I said, if you're new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, ring the bell for the notifications. Like I said, I'll be coming on weekly at this present time until I get into bringing more people on, different times, different places. But please like, share, do what you have to do. Like I said, I'm not here to monetize this. If you want to purchase my book, great. It's a really good book. Even if you do know somebody who is struggling in life, my book has been sold all over the world. It has certainly gone into many hands where people have passed it on. And that's the thing about having a autobiography, something where you might, oh, I know this person. Oh my gosh, because I can't share everything here. If I was to share everything, it would take a lifetime. Thank you, Jean. Yes. I really just want to be here and bring about a platform to give others a voice. I think it's really important for women, but I also know that it's so important for men as well. So it's about having a chit chat, having a little bit of a story of somebody's life, going through what they've been through, whether there's something that I can help them with, even, interaction within our YouTube channel, or even on Facebook, the fact that we can interact with people, we can start looking at questions, and maybe there's somebody out there who's experienced something a little bit different to me. And I think that's important, because as you get older, what do you do with all that wisdom? You can't just sit on it and not share it. So we really, well, I really appreciate you being here today. Like I said, every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I think that, yeah, like I said, if you are interested in Voice Choice Power, the Diamond Within, I think it's going to be a lovely chat. It's not going to go on for an hour. We just, have a chat beforehand. We go live for a little bit. If you don't feel, I've already asked a couple of ladies and they go, oh, Narelle, I'm a bit scared. And it's like, don't be scared, because if you trust me, you know that I'm going to be there for you, supporting you through anything that you share. I will lift you up. I will be a rock for you to be able to share those things. So like I said, it doesn't have to be your in-depth whole life story, but let's have a chat and let's start, just lifting each other up, being a voice, let our voices be heard. So thank you once again. I do appreciate every one of you being here. Thank you for your messages, for your support and your love. I really do appreciate that. So I shall see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And I know I shouldn't say that, but it's just one of those things that you grow up with. So I do love you all and appreciate you all. And I shall see you again soon. Take care and enjoy the rest of your week.